The Assumption Knights taking the field at Brady Street Stadium, Iowa 4A state playoffs on Cox Cable Channel 38. Thanks for tuning in. The Knights taking on another 9-1 club who's kind of familiar with the playoffs, Iowa City High, the two-time defending champs. Cy Robinson along with Coach Dan Birch. And I told you, Cy, early in the season, if you stick with me, I'll get you in the playoffs.
Hey, I never doubted you at all. Never doubted you.
The key here, apparently, on the defensive side of the ball, both clubs pretty even. One of them's got to step up and get the offense going.
I think so, too. You know, I look at Assumption as being due to be a giant killer, and I think you have to label maybe a little bit of an underdog because they haven't gone any past this game. So I think Assumption's got two of the best players in the MAC conference in O'Neill at linebacker and Oxendine as a both-way player, and I think they've got the guns to do it.
I'll throw another guy in there you failed to mention, number 1, Matt Forbes. I will throw in there as well. I talked to Coach Mark Kazmarek late last week rather, regarding the win over the Bettendorf, how they finally got over the hump, which was definitely Bettendorf for years.
Right.
And I asked him about Iowa City High, another team who have shared state titles the last few years, dominating the Iowa side. And he said they've beaten Iowa City High before in '90 in the playoffs, that they were more intimidated or just more leery, whatever the word I'm searching for, of Bettendorf than Iowa City High. So he doesn't expect the Knights to come out and be a little timid if they fall down, like we saw on a specific Sunday afternoon when Bettendorf did knock off Assumption.
Right.
Well, Iowa City High won the toss, but deferred, so Assumption will take it and receive. Both clubs, as I said, come in 9-1. Iowa City High was ranked 3rd in the final rankings. Their only loss going to number 1 Iowa City West.
Excuse me, I was going to comment on the field. It it looks good and flat right now, but it also looks pretty wet out there. But I talked to the athletic director at Assumption a while ago, Tom Mooney, and he said it's really not too bad. It's just no grass on it, but it's not that muddy.
Let's face it,
we'll see.
It's Brady Street Stadium, late in the year, November. What do you expect?
I was trying to be nice.
In fact, you've commented, along with several other men up in the press box before, that this year it's held up pretty well.
Yeah. Yep, it has. And we've had a really good fall this year too. So, and the big guys at Ambrose have only played about 3 games on here. That helped it a little bit.
Well, that's the Jim Fox road schedule going. Iowa City High kicks it off, and it is deep. A good kick nailed. Pullman receives it at the 5. He's up near the 20. Got a little bit of a lane down the left side, but brought down quickly past the 20-yard line.
27.
Okay, here we go.
Left hand.
I don't know what defense we're going to see from Iowa City. I watched their offense in the pregame, but I didn't see what defense they were going to be in, so won't be long till we find out.
Jeff McGraw is back in at starting quarterback despite the heroics by Tony Holland last Wednesday to upset Bettendorf. Kazmarek feels McGraw runs the offense more smoothly, but he always has that gun on the bench, if you will. Iowa City High, I think, jumped off sides. There's the quick flag.
Now there's going to be an easy 5 yards for the Assumption Knights right out of the blocks. That never hurts.
As you know, Coach, you always want to pick up like 5 yards every first down. That's an easy way to get it. Assumption will rotate running backs. I'm told Iowa City High kind of does the same. In years past, as we mentioned, back-to-back state titles, they had Timmy Dwight up in Iowa City now, and also Rob Thine, who's redshirting, just kind of pound it down your throat in the last few years. But they do more of a rotation. 1st and 5. The ball spotted past the 30. We're just underway here at Brady Street Stadium. O'Neill in the tight end slot. We've seen him play more of that as the season wore on. He'll shift left. They'll pitch it left and get nothing going that way. McGraw just came out of a straight pitch and gave it to Pullman, the junior running back, and he was wrestled down quickly.
That's going to be Assumption's going to have to get used to the defensive linemen of Iowa City are doing a lot of jumping around. Looks like they're in a 42, and then they jump into a 5-man front, and they bring their people up tight, and they manage to get a yard out of that, though, it looks like.
Well, they did give him a yard, so it brings up 2nd and 4 from the 33-yard line. Under center, Forbes is wide right. There comes a little motion. They take their little fullback counter up there, and it is stuffed big time. Nick Gary was your ball carrier, and he lost a yard or two.
Looked like number 72 for Iowa City, Lee DeWitt, 216-pound senior, made the play. And Assumption came out that time with a lot of people on the right side of football. They were unbalanced. They had a slot to this side. Didn't look like Iowa City adjusted to it, but they sure did make the play.
We'll see what the adjustments will be made here on 3rd and 4. So they spotted it as a no game for Mr. Gary. Bitterman and he rotate back in. Bitterman's at fullback now. They shift it to the wing right. Forbes is wide right. They're on the left hash, remember. They go with the same play. This time it goes to Bitterman, and with the same success or lack thereof.
Looks like we're going to get some good look at this DeWitt young man tonight. There's another tackle by Lee DeWitt from Iowa City, one of the down linemen. So
they're in a punt situation, and that's what Coach Kazmarek, unlike Hayden Fry last Saturday, decides to do. 4th and 3 on the Stone 34. He's going to punt it away. And Holland gets it away, the backup quarterback who helped win that Bettendorf game. Nice punt, fielded cleanly at his own 30, up, motoring, and picking up about 5 more as he's dragged down, I believe. Was that 43?
Yeah, and that was number 12, Khalil Hill. And I've got a little history on Dan. I was talking to one of the Iowa City guys a while ago, and Khalil Hill is the son of J.D. Hill, and J.D. Hill, the former NFL player, I think, for the Buffalo Bills, maybe. So he's got a little bloodline going for him.
Very much so. So on the right hash, the far side, going towards the north, Iowa City High takes over on their first possession. 9:49 to go in the first quarter at Brady Street Stadium on Cox Communications 38. Motion to quarterback. It's tight. They toss quickly. Right, you could hear Iowa City West coaches and scouts in the background, obviously have scouted Iowa City High, calling the toss just as the motion man came through. So we'll keep an ear open, Science.
Yeah, we might learn a lot from the guys over here.
Any tendencies, if you will. And they must know them because, of course, they beat them 14-0 in a big game early in the year, much like the Bettendorf Assumption rivalry. That is heated up. West is really big, I hear. Did I get a nod? Yes? Huge.
Huge, huh?
So they're ranked number 1. That's what I heard about the High game. So loss of 5. 1st and 15. They walk it back. The coach from West just said not as huge as Assumption. He must be looking at Harris, Oxendine, and O'Neill at 235-pound linebacker. They roll, and he throws behind them. Well, I'll question the Iowa City High coach since they don't get Cox Cable up in Iowa City. Why would you have the kid roll left and throw back with the right hand?
I'll tell you what. I'm impressed with his arm right now because he threw a rocket.
Bobby Douglas threw a rocket.
It was 2 yards behind the receiver, but he did throw a rocket.
All right. Well, I've got to forget most of our viewers aren't as old as you. And I remember Douglas.
You commented on my age every game this year.
We're keeping it consistent. 2nd and 15, ball on the 30. Their own 30. They bring the back in motion. They're out of the eye. He'll roll once again and throw the other way. Post pattern.
Ooh. I don't know who he was throwing that to, but
there was a 25 came out on a post.
Okay.
I think that's where he was throwing.
Matt Gravard, one of the LBs for Assumption, was the nearest receiver. I know that.
So 3rd down now.
Kind of a formation there from Iowa City. It looked like an unbalanced left. They brought a motion man across formation and took him back the other way, and Assumption is moving to the strength, and so a lot of people moving around out there.
So the MAC Conference champ Assumption, once again, won the title, and rallied to beat Bettendorf in the first round. Nothing there. They go dive right, a little power dive, and nothing going. Kind of a strange call, throwing on the first 2 downs, and then 3rd and 15 running.
Yep. Well, that's a you take it call. Looks like I was trying to see who was at the bottom of the pile there. Still can't say who made that tackle.
So Iowa City High will punt on 4th and 13. Mr. Forbes is back. We've seen him run back punts, kickoffs, interceptions, and of course catch a few and take it in. Punting from his own 20. Iowa City High fielded cleanly. They're coming after it. O'Neill slipped. Forbes got it. Bobbled it, he better get on it at the 35. Took a nice hop.
Yep.
Like a shortstop playing on AstroTurf. He got a pretty hop there, helped him
I'll tell
out.
you, after showing bad hands from the air, he did a nice job of fielding that ball on a run.
But Assumption retains it, so they take over 1st and 10 from the 35. Ball spotted on the near hash in front of the Assumption bench. Was teasing Marquez Merrick, the coach of Assumption, as well, before he beat Bettendorf, calling him the Bobby Cox and the Marv Levy of the area. But now he's hoping to move on farther in the playoffs than he has thus far. Bitterman shifts. Excuse me, that's Bush, number 6, not 5, Bitterman. They give it to Bush on a little counter. He breaks initial contact, but is still smothered behind the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Mark Seaton, one of the down linemen for Iowa City, was in there and almost made about a 4-yard loss, but didn't make the play, but held it up enough so the rest of the defense could get there.
Marshall Wirtz was out there blocking, but there were 3 people to block, so he can only do so much.
That's right. A lot of penetration by the white shirts there, and Assumption's going to have to shore that up.
Bitterman comes in. He'll be at the fullback. Bush is generally the wingback. Forbes goes wide as the split end. He'll come out to the near side. You see him break the huddle. Bush will join him, so kind of a soft Twins ride, if you will. There goes Pullman in motion. They fake, and there's a lot of heat coming.
Yep.
And McGraw just went down.
Number 81. Here's another name you're going to know, Dan. Sean Triplett on the tackle there.
Is that Dave?
On the sack. That's Dave Triplett's son. Matter of fact, we have twin boys tonight. Dave Triplett does playing. Sean Triplett and Rory Triplett both play for Iowa City, and both good players, obviously.
And you know, what goes around comes around. Did Mr. Triplett not coach at Assumption?
Yes, he did years ago. And
no mixed emotions tonight, I don't think. I think he's rooting for his boys. They come with the 2 receiver right side again. It's a straight eye backfield. Pullman behind Geary. They fake the draw to Pullman. McGraw throwing, going for Forbes. And he almost caught it. It was almost picked off as well, so look at it as an almost play.
I thought that was going to be picked. Looked like Mike Richards in the area there, and just barely out of his reach. But also, they wound up hitting Forbes in the chest, I think.
That's just it. Richards maybe lost his footing. He's one of the two-way players for Iowa City High. It did look like he would pick it originally, and I maybe Forbes was probably waiting for him to get a hand on it, touch it too.
Right.
So Holland comes in to punt for a second time. Neither team doing much offensively. Not only did we know they have 2 good defensive clubs, that is their strength, but also the field conditions coming into play as well. Holland will punt it away, no rush. It's a return here for him. Fielded once again by Hill. He breaks the first tackle. He's got a little bit of lane down the right side. Hurdles one man, cuts back, and it's Bitterman hustling down finally to bring him down, but not after he crosses midfield somewhere past the 40-yard line. They'll probably spotted about the 36.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hill looks like he can accelerate with the best of them on that. He looked like he just took a step and he was all at full speed right away. Good return there by that young man.
Well, obviously they're going to their strength. Nobody really came after it. They were setting up a return for Hill. Something did a good job of getting down there. They just didn't wrap up.
Kick was a little bit low and kind of out-kicked the coverage.
Split left out of the eye backfield. Iowa City High coming at you. They fake the pitch. Quarterback keep. On a quarterback draw, breaks one tackle and gets down past the 20. They'll spot it probably at the 20. Nice call there. Iowa City likes that little motion and the quick pitch, and they just faked it. Nice block by the center guard seam there.
Nice run, and Price looks like he's got some wheels too, Dan. Once he picked the hole and got through it, he got some good yardage.
Well, the preview, if you will, or the quotes from the paper on Price were not great stats quarterback-wise, but apparently a good athlete. Maybe like a Jason Smith from Bettendorf that we saw earlier.
Yep,
that type
good
of guy.
leader.
They just went with the eye right, just blasted it.
Yep.
They picked up a good first down, probably picked up about 5 or 6 there.
That was Ringana?
Ringana, there you go.
I almost blew it.
Jason Ringana.
Yeah, he's the one I think's been getting quite a bit of the ink for the running backs in Iowa City.
Ringana
he's only a junior. Price is only a junior.
So they have some people coming back, but when don't they?
That's true.
Richards at fullback, Ringana the eye back. They got 2 receivers side left, 2nd and 5. They go right back with the same play, and it's Ringana almost in the end zone. I think he's going to be a little short. Talk about a great job of breaking tackles, just keeping your feet going. He was even running backwards for a little bit backpedaling, but he kept heading in the right direction.
Great balance shown there, and nice little hole. Some great blocking up front by their linemen. And the quick feet took over.
5:01 in the first quarter. It'll be first and goal from the 1. Not a good situation for the Assumption Knight defense. This is where you hope for any fluke play, maybe a little fumbled quarterback exchange. You got to get a little help down here. They've ran Ringen off that right side 2 times in a row. This time they give the big fullback Richards, and he's stuffed.
Never made it, yeah. Good defense there by Oxendine and big DeAndre Harris.
Well, and you hit it on the head.
Tim O'Neill.
Man, Oxendine goes about 270. DeAndre about 300. And like we mentioned before, O'Neill as a linebacker at 235. Yeah, DeAndre 300 and
Lori
second and goal, still on the 1. They go back to the I. They'll stay in that most of the way. Wide receiver is left. They run it, and Ringen on blast in. I'll tell you what, the kid runs backpedaling half the time, but he makes nice runs. As long as he's headed in the right direction.
He gets hit and spins and keeps going the same direction. That's pretty impressive little drive right there.
Well, it was pretty much Ringen off that right tackle. Look for that from Iowa City High. I'll give you your thoughts on this too, Si. Some teams just like to be right-handed. Or the Oakland Raiders, Manchester is always running the left side. I just say run where your best players are at.
Yep.
And the kick for Iowa City High is Sean Conklin. The hold is pretty decent,
blocked.
but coming in hard is O'Neill.
Tim O'Neill.
Nobody touched him. He came flying in. In fact, that's the quickest he's looked all year.
He just about got there as soon as the ball did.
Yeah.
What an effort by Tim O'Neill.
And that could prove to be a difference. Obviously, everything's a big play in a playoff game. So it's 6-0 with 4:10. We'll keep it here on Cox Communications Channel 38. 4:10 in the first quarter.
Well, that should get them up just a little bit, blocking the kick. Now they got to go down and answer the bell here and get back in it.
Wade King, the defensive coordinator and special teams coach, kind of broke the huddle there, talking to guys. Forbes and Pullman go deep. Bitterman will kind of be an up back for him. Not really there to return though, because that's he's more of the key block. He picks up all the filtration, of course, on the seams. So 6-0, the block PAT by O'Neill. First quarter action for a playoff second round. It's a squib kick to the middle. It'll be taken by an up back.
Oh, he's down, dropped down.
Slips. The high school rule.
Yep, that was number 21, Andy Stewart. Just drop the knee down. That's all it takes in high school. I sometimes wish they'd change that rule, but
I kind of did too.
yeah.
I even wished even more so when I played, because of course I had terrible feet and was always slipping. First and 10.
No comment there.
From just inside the 20, their own 19. 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Tight formation. They go right back to the fullback dive. He slips. He's down.
Yeah, he fell right on. He dropped the ball and fell right on top of it.
Well, we saw late in the year, Si, we saw Assumption have a lot of success with that fullback dive. Bitterman and Gary both coming on. But it looks like the footing's tough in the middle of the field.
See, they've changed their personnel just a little bit. They're trying to be big in there because they got DeAndre Harris at right guard, and they got Marshall Wirtz at the other guard, and that is
some big
Oxendine. Holy cow.
And that's where they go back, right over that middle. Bitterman picks up maybe a yard or two. Should bring up 3rd and 8. But yes, very much so, because those were some of the guys. Marshall Wirtz also goes about 250, another guy we failed to mention.
Number 72, they got Hummel. He's always been with the right tackle on that side, and I think Clemmy, number 54, Mike Clemmy's the other at the left tackle.
He's the small one of the group at 225. Yeah. So on 3rd, and they gave him more yards than I thought. 3rd and 5. They bring him in motion. It's Pullman. He's got a lane. He's got a first down. And near getting around that corner.
Yep. Nice job there by Graham Pullman coming around the right side. And good block out here on the tight end, and by the tight end, I should say.
The Assumption crowd wakes up, comes to life a little bit on a drizzly type of day. It was raining enough that Si and Jess, our cameraman, of course, didn't want to go down on the field and do a little pregame, but we don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to get my shoes dirty.
2:44 and counting. From the right hash, the near side, right down the sidelines. Forbes comes wide right. We should see if Pullman comes in motion. O'Neill comes tight right. from the left side. They do that motion, give to the fullback. Gary bulls up for maybe a yard or two.
Number 34, Nick Fury, the ball carrier.
30. I was trying to see who made a tackle there. Looked like number 84, I think, for the little Hawks. And nope, it was Triplett that made a play, and he was, just as he shifted down to the inside, the ball was snapped and nobody blocked him, and he was right in the hole.
Forbes still comes wide right, or kind of wide right. When you're on the hash, you're not.
Yeah, as wide as he can get.
Pullman from left, he'll motion. O'Neal was going from the right side to the left. They've been doing that a lot this evening.
I didn't see what happened there, but Forbes lined up.
Illegal motion.
Yeah, Forbes lined up offside, or
I don't think it was
offside,
Forbes, was it?
Looked like they were looking at him, but maybe they were just talking to.
As you know, Si, that a certain number of men have to be up on the line of scrimmage and stuff.
Yep.
2 men in motion, they're saying, from across the booth, and that was O'Neal and Pullman both shifting. But you can shift 2 men.
Yeah, you can shift. I don't. Well, we don't know what the call was, who they called it on there, but
that's what I thought. I heard that from across the booth. I'm thinking you can shift 2 guys.
Yeah, you can shift all over the place as long as you got 7 people in line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
So that could actually, that could have been a call. Well, nonetheless, it's 2nd and 12 from the 28. Their own 28. Assumption picked up their first down to Pullman. They'll give it to him again. He's going to turn to left corner. Got a little bit of room. There's a flag, and that's not a good sign for Assumption.
Yeah, we're going to get a clip or a hold back there where the flag is. Again, Assumption in that unbalanced line, and I saw no defensive adjustment by Iowa City. So a pretty good gain is going to be negated, I think.
So Pullman's run will be taken back. Does it seem to you, it seems like maybe the Assumption splits are kind of tight tonight?
Yeah, they are. They are.
And they mark it back.
I'm sure that's the quickness due to Iowa City, because I don't think Iowa City brought that big of a team in here.
No.
But they sure are quick defensively.
1:23 remaining in the first quarter from Brady Street Stadium. Davenport Assumption trailing Iowa City High 6-0, and marched way back. 2nd and 27 from their own 13. Forbes is wide right in this situation. We always mention where he is. Push comes motion left to right into your screen. Little fake draw. McGraw rolls. He's looking at Forbes, throws it high. Forbes catches it. He's blasted out of bounds about to 22, so it's still going to be 3rd and long.
Good poke again by Mike Richards. The looks like one of the defensive backs.
He's also their fullback, kind of a hitter. So they look to Forbes, but of course you're going to give Forbes that cushion. He can motor. Big play guy. No surprise there. 3rd and 20 from the 20.
Yeah, the holding call was from the point of the infraction, so it would really turned out to be about a 14-yard penalty.
Forbes goes wide left. Bush will go join him from the right side. You see him in motion, number 6. Now they do the drop to the fake. Pullman almost slipped. Oh, and Gary.
Just
it's one more block.
Yeah, it just looked like he had a lot of room to run there, and all of a sudden Todd Barnes, one of the LBs for Iowa City, was right there and made a great tackle.
Well, Gary's fullback was out in front of him, and he had 2 guys to hit, and it was like he couldn't decide which one. He kind of got frozen. Kind of split the field goal with him. Holland a punt. Clock clicking down in the first quarter. He's back near his 10. We'll see if Iowa City High comes after it again. Hill back now. They're going to let Hill return it. Holland within. All right, punt bounces about to 50 and bounces by him. Check that. What I said is, Si, well, great punt.
Yeah.
It started out as an all right
It turned out to be a super punt.
Goes inside the 30. They'll spot it about the actually about the 23-yard line. Goes inside the 25.
Yeah, that ball bounced further than it's carried in the air.
So it's just 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Iowa City High comes back with a 6-0 lead. Probably get a playoff here, and then it'll probably do it for the first quarter. 2 receivers left side. They're out of the eye. They've been running that right side. They'll go back to it. The quick pitch. Nice penetration and drop for a loss.
Fumble, wasn't there?
You hear the people in the background yelling fumble. Jess, we'll get you a microphone in a second.
Yeah, I saw the ball go out. That was Mike Clemmie, I think, caused the fumble, made the play. Yeah, the disturbance. Good.
That's what I like, the filtration. And there you hear the horn. sound or the siren, whatever it is, here at Brady Street Stadium. Iowa City High leading Davenport Assumption after a quarter, 6-0 on Cox Communication Channel 38. We'll be back. Set to start the second quarter at Davenport's Public School Stadium, but it's the Catholic School Davenport Assumption in a playoff action second round. There's a flag. That's a good way to start off the second quarter for Assumption on Iowa City High. It'll be on 2nd and 12. They'll lose. I hear from to my right, illegal substitution by the scouting Iowa City West.
Yeah, and I didn't catch why. Did you, Dan? I don't know what the...
Nonetheless, as the Assumption fan, though, you'll be happy to know they lose 5 more. It's 2nd and 17. Ball spotted on their own 15 near side. Assumption down 6-zip. They're out of that eye. They bring it back, or excuse me, receiver in motion. He'll stop, reverse. They fake the fullback, a little option to the right side. As we talked about, Price is an athlete, maybe not a great pure throwing quarterback, but just a good athlete. They're going to try to take that to his advantage. Picked up a couple of yards.
Looks like now the booth has probably seen something that Assumption is shifting with the motion coming across, and they're going to come back into that shift.
Picked up about 5.
Yeah, 5, I suppose.
4, I guess. 3rd and 13, ball on the 20. Just underway in the second quarter on Cox Communications Channel 38. Split left, Forbes goes out there with him. O'Neal coming hard on the blitz, he's picked up.
Right into it.
You saw him coming.
Excellent defensive call by Coach Wade King, I think.
There's a guy down.
I'll tell you.
DeAndre Harris was on top of a guy, and he's getting up slow, and we've seen that happen a couple times. As we said, DeAndre's 300 and
whatever.
Whatever.
And yeah, he puts the mash on him out there. I'll tell you, O'Neal blitzed right into that, Dan, and that was just a great anticipation by the defensive coaches there.
You see him, Jesse Holland limping off. He had the fortunate incident of landing on the bottom of DeAndre Harris. O'Neal came hard. I saw it coming. I said, blitz, he's picked up. But he came so hard, he blasted the guard right back into the running back. Even though the guy picked him up, he didn't really do a lot of damage.
No.
So he really did stuff to play. Good call, as you said, by Coach King, Coach Kaz, and the defense. So on 4th and 15, naturally the punt, it looks like Assumption's going to come after it from his own 5. He's going to have to kick it away. Forbes is back. Here come the Knights. They're not going to get it, but it's a clean kick, no flag. Forbes will let it bounce at the 50 and just let him come down and down it right around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to get some good field position out of this exchange at the 40-yard line.
Like, I'm sorry, 41-yard line. Yep. I was looking at the wrong hash. My apologies. So at about the 41, we'll say. Knights take over 1st and 10. Haven't done much offensively. Picked up a first down. 10:30 in the second. Want to congratulate the Assumption cheerleaders for picking up a state trophy as well this past weekend. We'll talk about that later. Slot left, wing right comes in motion. It's Pullman. They'll give to the fullback again. And he's pretty much stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Good job by the Iowa City nose guard there. Got to plug him a little bit because he really stuffed the lead post and got right into the hole.
Bitterman comes out. Gary goes back in at the fullback position. 2nd and 10. They listed as no gain. Oxendine, number 70, up to the line in the center. McGraw will join him. O'Neal comes tight left. The wing is right. It's Pullman. They'll bring him in a slow shift. Bush goes now wing left. They shift it up. They go to the fullback. And once again, he gets maybe a yard.
Yep.
They're trying
The defense is stiff in the middle, and have been all evening long so far.
Assumption naturally trying to establish that fullback dive, and then you'll see, of course, McGraw pull it and come out here an option with Pullman as a pitch back or Bush or whomever happens to be in that slot. But so far they haven't had much success establishing.
Yeah, well, they got 4 yards out of it. I didn't think they got that much, so they got more than I thought.
3rd and 7, they're calling a 3-yard gain. I was surprised too, Si. There they go. They come back a little counter. Pullman's got a couple blockers out in front of him. And he got near a first down.
It's going to be about a yard short.
He was kind of waiting for his blockers and then probably figured he had to shoot up there and try to get it. As you said, Si, he's going to be about a yard short. 4th and 1. Now kind of interesting.
Yeah,
because
see
you're
what
at
happens
midfield.
here. Yeah, it's almost less than one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about half a yard.
Yep. Well, they had a little
go for it.
Little sweep play on there. I saw the guard coming across.
You see the fans already like him going for it. They're at midfield.
Yep.
Granted, they've stuffed the fullback dive, but it's only a half yard. McGraw under center could be a QB sneak always. They go right to the fullback dive. It's going to be close. I don't think he got it.
No, I don't think so either. No, they spot it. The official spotting it right on the chalk.
Right on the chalk, and as we can see across from the chains, they'll bring him in naturally to avoid argument.
Yeah, they're gonna have to bring him in, I think.
I don't think they have it, Si. You can see it spotted just outside the chalk. It's pointed, and as we look across the screen,
and Kaz is biting his nails right here. This needs to be a first.
Tell you, whoever that D lineman was on high, though, he stood up Gary and
he really did.
Pushed him back. It was a good play. It's going to be short. As you can tell by the elated Little Hawks,
yeah,
it was a little short.
Well, there's a gamble you take, and if you get it, you look great, and now if you don't have it, you look back, and we made a mistake there on the call.
The great thing is, Si, you heard a couple thousand people applaud the move when he went for it.
Yep.
And you know there's going to be guys in coffee shops tomorrow saying,
why did they do that? Oh, I saw the same thing Saturday at Kennedy Stadium, and you just saw it right there, the same thing. You take a chance once in a while, and it hit you right in the right eye.
Iowa City will take timeout, 1st and 10 from the 50, and we'll take timeout with 8:03 in the second quarter. 6-0, Iowa City High leading. 6-0 is the score. Iowa City High leading Davenport Assumption. 8:03 in second quarter action. Iowa State 4A playoffs. Iowa City High has it 1st and 10 from midfield, right at the 50 on the near side, the Assumption sidelines. They run right where they've had success, and doing a nice job of breaking initial contact was the Iowa City High running back.
Good pursuit, Dan. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It was
good
Mike
pursuit
Richards.
by Assumption defense there, and number 70 almost had himself a play there. Oxendine. Jeez, I can't believe I had to look and see that number, who that was. Jiminy.
He could get a yard, 2nd and 9.
I'm used to watching him from a center position, I guess, and
when he's on defense, it throws you a little bit. 7.5 minutes ago, they're out of the eye. The wide receiver side is left. They'll pitch it that way or fake the pitch, go back with the quarterback draw. He's got a lane down the right side in front of the Assumption bench, dragged down, but not till he crossed the 30, or 40 rather. He's taken out of bounds about the 36. See where they spot it.
Yeah, right on the 36. Excellent job by Iowa City lineman there. And just as we were talking about Oxendine now there, he's going to see himself there get beat pretty good by a lead post from their tight end and tackle. And
now,
nobody
Price
was there
did a
to come
good
up and make
job
the play.
of selling the pitch and spinning. That's been successful for them twice thus far. Still on the near side. 1st and 10. Just this side of the 35. They're going to option the right side. They give it a fullback, and he is stuffed again.
Yep, good defense.
I think it was Grabber at that time in on the stop.
Yeah, 42.
Yep,
Matt Grabber. Yep. Matt Gravert's, I'm going to date myself again. Matt Gravert's dad, a great wrestler over West High about 100 years ago. He'll appreciate me mentioning that.
Once again,
old crappie fisherman.
Who brings up your age? So they lose a couple of yards.
Yeah.
Or 1 yard anyway, 2nd and 11. So both clubs doing a pretty good job of taking away that initial dive. And too much time, Assumption gets another break. Well, we said in the, I don't know if we said it on air side, so I'll correct myself quickly, but I know we were talking, we'd see something like a 14-10 game, 13-10 because of the defenses, and it's kind of pretty much mapping out that way thus far. It is 6-0 Iowa City High, leading in the second quarter. A block PAT by Tim O'Neill could come out, prove later on to be a big play.
Yeah, Larry Brown, Coach Brown over there, probably a little growly after the delay penalty.
Price is rolling right, looking downfield. It zips a little sidearm, not caught by Ben Mesner. A lot of good pressure by the Assumption D.
Just excellent block by number 65, Ben Dombrowski for the Iowa City. Came across, blocked to the backside, and just ripped somebody over there.
So 3rd and 16, a huge play here. The ball is across midfield, spotted just inside the 42-yard line of the Assumption side of the ball. Here comes the blitz. O'Neill stuffing people back again. He zips it. Wide open is Hill.
And that's a first down, Dan. Just a post pattern by number 12 for Iowa City, Khalil Hill.
Caught it on kind of a soft post, almost like a slant even coming through. And good job. They picked up the blitz. I tell you, it took the center and the fullback coming up to stop O'Neill.
I tell you, if Iowa City the past 3 years, as we watch them, have they had a quarterback with an arm that can just rifle a ball or what?
Well, the one kid,
you saw it again right there.
We'll see. Up to the line is Price. They've had a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they have.
That's why they're the two-time defending state champ. The toss right with a little room. That's Richards again, the big kid. He also plays DB for him.
He's a horse.
204. I mentioned they ran the Thine kid last year, very much in the same way. Kind of looked like a fullback coming at you out of the eye.
He gets at it.
Picks up 8 yards. Ball inside the 15-yard line.
Well, I would have second guessed the 4th and 13 there. I would have punted a ball deep. So I guess that's why these guys are in the playoffs, huh?
So both coaches going for it on 4th. One paying off thus far. They do that quarterback draw again. He had an opening, got a first down, and got inside the 10.
That's the trap play again. A little fake dive, and the quarterback just keeps it and turns and follows that pulling guard across, and that guard is doing some damage when he gets across. That's number 6. That's Dombrowski again. He's just devastating that D lineman over there.
Assumptions takes timeout. We'll keep it here with 1st and goal from the 6. And what's interesting is, and we talked about establishing a fullback dive, the reason that's working so well is, of course, Iowa City High goes off right tackle so well.
That's
you
right.
got to respect that. He keys it with he sells out that play really well with a great fake, and Mitch Price is also very quick, as we mentioned, good athlete. Then he turns on you, and if you're O'Neill and Gravert and you just make that initial read, and on a slick field, they got to cut back.
Correct. And if upstairs sees the linebackers not reacting to the pulling guards, that's what they're gonna do.
I'm gonna ask you now, so we got timeout. Post. I thought that was a post pattern. What's this post block? Is that like a kickoff block?
No.
Is that what you're talking about? You got to explain to the viewers now. Most people post. They think,
Well, we were talking about Hill a while ago, running the post pattern. But we were talking about lead post block, you mean? Oh, all right.
Kickout block?
Yeah, a lead post block is just a 2-on-1 block.
Okay. A double team.
There you go.
I thought you meant the kickout block. Okay.
Gee, you almost confused me.
Well, you confused me when you called a block a post.
We've seen the tight end and the tackle run a lot of lead posts on Oxendine tonight.
And they will kick out off the post. They'll pitch left this time. They've had more success going the other way. He's going to shoot for the end zone. There's a flag, and the Assumption Rosaries were out on that one.
Yep, and that's going to get called back, I'm sure.
That kid showed good speed. Richards turning the corner because he was actually caught in the backfield there.
Right,
just ran right by the guy.
He kind of out. Joe Bedford was over there, and I know Joe Bedford's playing a little bit hurt tonight, I think, but he got outrun there a little bit to the outside.
Well, we saw him get banged up a little bit in one game. So a break for Assumption big time. Instead of a 12-0 game, we're going to mark it back on a hold call. They go past the 10. It's spotted around the 12. So 1st and goal from the 12. Iowa City High once again leading 6-0. Second round playoff action in Iowa 4A. The number 3 ranked Iowa City Little Hawks, the 2-time defending state champs, and of course the Davenport Assumption Knights, MAC Conference champs, 9-1, ranked 6th in the state. Look for Price, the quarterback. This time he'll pitch. It's Richards again, blasting away. Gets it inside the 10.
Not too bad defensively. Forbes and I think O'Neill were out there. Looks like Grant Pullman was also out there on the play.
A lot of two-way players, of course. 4:44 and counting in the first half.
I need one more guy out there on that day.
And we got an official timeout. What's this for here? Oh, we got a
second quarter score.
I think Pullman had a little problem with his hat, but I think he's got it fixed now.
They just announced the second quarter score in the other game. The winner of this game taking on the winner of that game. It's Iowa City West leading 16-0 over Dubuque Wahlert. West ranked number 1 in the state, of course, undefeated. Gave Iowa City High their only loss this season. Hill comes motion cross right to left up on the far side of the screen. They're going to fake, look for him to look in the end zone. Oh, great pressure.
Yeah. Good job by number 21, Andy Stewart.
Second big play by Stewart.
Yes, he's made his presence known.
Coming hard.
I'll tell you what, it looked like there was a receiver open over there in the corner too.
I don't think it was Hill, it was the second guy out there, brought Hill in motion. Yeah, and because they were concentrating on Hill, and I didn't see the number either side, but yeah, he was open. But I'll tell you what,
he would have had to throw it against the grain again, against the grain he's running, I mean, but
as I mentioned earlier, they roll him left, and you always lose a second. You know, and you got that backside pressure. That's where you get a lot of turnovers, actually. We'll see if that can come into play. 3rd and 17 from, actually 3rd and goal from the 17, I should say. Looks like Assumption's coming. They're doing a lot of blitzing tonight. They go to one back set, bring him in motion. Looking for the end zone. Hill's open.
Oh, yeah, it's a touch, I think.
No.
Holy cow.
Matt Forbes jumped up. Hill, the first time, let me say this, I think, it's the first time all year I've seen Matt Forbes get beat. All year. And Hill was open. He must have bobbled it, and Forbes kind of blasted him out of bounds. The Iowa City West coaches are one. You probably want to face Assumption anyway. Come on. Nobody likes facing the same team again in the playoffs.
Well, the Hill and the other receiver out there thought that was a touch, as did I.
Yeah, well.
But, okay, just another long down for Iowa City. It's like they're going to try to kick it here.
Field goal this time. It was 4th and goal from the 17, so a couple of nice breaks on that goal line stand for Assumption. They're coming after it again. They got the last one. They almost got that one.
Oh, that's...
And the kick fell short. I'll tell you what, it's getting like a movie.
That's why, you know, I always said God liked Assumption better. Oh, 2 big breaks there. The touch on the end zone line was out, and then the kick hits the crossbar and bounces down. All right.
That was, like I said, it's getting like a movie. We both said, oh my, or how about that, you know?
Well, that's what Assumption needs to get them going now. Let's see, that fired a crowd up. I know that.
So here they come. Assumption went back with a dive. Bitterman breaks the tackle line, scrimmage, picks up a couple good first down play. 3:12 to go. It's 6-0 so far. Assumption has won the kicking game.
Yeah, that's true.
As the missed field goal and the block PAT, keeping them in the ball game.
Nice job running by Bitterman there. Now, he was banged up a little bit in the Bettendorf game, but he looked 100% on that run.
It is 6-0. Assumption with the ball trailing. 2nd and 5 from their own 25. A long way to go. Forbes is wide left. O'Neill comes in motion, shifts right to left. They come on a little cross fake. They gave the fullback again. It's Gary. He picked up a yard.
Yep, little inside trap. They were ready for it that time. Just a quick hitter.
Well, this is where it'll do the same formation, of course. Look for Pullman and Forbes, of course. I keep mentioning on the big play hitters. They like to use Pullman in these type of situations too. 3rd and 4 on the 26.
I tell you, they got about 3 more yards more than I thought on that play.
Pullman is coming in motion from the right side. They fake. They roll McGraw right.
Little
He'll
bootleg.
look downfield. He's going to put it away, tuck it away, and
Oh, he
try to
didn't
run.
make
He
it.
did not get it.
Nope. Excellent defensive play over there by number 85 again. I think we've seen him earlier. That's Suckamel is his name. Kevin, number 85.
So Tony Holland will come in to punt. Granted, he's the backup quarterback, but I won't look for a fake in this situation. Down 6-0 with 1:48 to go. He'll be punting somewhere around his own 15.
You're always leading with that guy.
Actually, his own.
We got a little timeout here. Must have. There's a coach coming out.
It's Wade King running out there. He handles the special teams
If
as
there
well
isn't
as the
that,
defense.
if there isn't that water girl's pretty tough because she's in the huddle.
So with 1:48 to go in the first half, as I said, we don't look for any eccentrics, I don't think, by Coach Kaz. I think he'd like to just get a good punt away, stuff him, and go in down a mere touchdown.
Yep, I think at this point he'd be very satisfied to go in and do a little regrouping.
See if Iowa City West will come after it. They've pretty much done return setups. Really haven't sent anybody trying to get Hill on a return. Holland's last punt, of course, with a great bounce. See if he has that luck. They've had the luck going on a couple of situations. They're coming this time. Oh, almost got it. Holland a line drive. It'll skirt about midfield. Picked up by Hill. Couple men in front of him, but he's slippery. And that's exactly what he did. He slipped through the first line.
Yep.
But I tell you, everybody was down there getting him.
Right, I think it's lucky for Assumption that Hill didn't vault for the chalk again because he had the corner set with two blockers over there, and I never saw a single red shirt outside it. So,
but a nice position anyway. Across
And we
midfield.
got,
We got another player down. It's an Assumption ball player. I was told by Mr. O'Neill that Clemmy is
number
the ball
54,
player down.
Mike Clemmy.
It's one of the another thing to take note too. Size. He's of course one of their offensive linemen. So I'll tell you what, we'll be back. Take a quick break here on Cox Communications, Channel 38.
That's my job. You're a good man.
You see Clemmy, as we said, the injured lineman being helped off the field. Looks like perhaps an ankle, huh?
Yep.
Way he's hopping on it.
Yep.
Minute 37, Iowa City High's already up the ball, ready to rock and roll here in the first half, winding down. The player not off the field yet. A minute 37. The situation is a 6-0 Iowa City lead, 1st and 10 from inside the 50-yard line on the 44 of Assumption.
Well, we certainly hope Clemmy's okay, but he really looks like he's walking on that gingerly, and he's a both-way player for him.
Yeah, as I said, now he's starting to dress down.
Yeah.
The toss left.
Ooh.
Nice running room, still on his feet, cuts back, still on his feet. 20-10, he's going to make it to the end zone. What a run by Richards.
Oh, my.
He just cut back. It looked like he was going to be down. He started to lose his balance, got a little contact, kept his feet, and then cut it back right and cut it back by everybody. A lot more speed than I thought he had.
He just picked it up, picked up a couple nice blocks, made a couple cuts off of it, and gone.
Well, I'll tell you what, early on, Richards was at fullback in Ringana, rather. Was at tail, but I think they're having a lot more success on the muddy field with the big tailback.
Well, he looked like a little tailback there.
Yeah,
the way he was flying.
Yeah, he really got motoring. So it's 12-0. And they're going to go for 2 with the success they've had at the kicking game. Pitch it, and it's going to be a halfback toss. One of the worst throws I've ever seen. Was that Richards?
I think Jess could have thrown that ball further than that. Our
Gary
cameraman
picked it off. I think it was Gary.
Yeah. Yeah, and if he had a man open in the back of the end zone back there, if he could have got a little juice on it. But
I'll tell you what, Richards just ran how many yards? I think he could pick up 3 for me. Why are you letting him toss?
Yeah.
So another break. Once again, at least we're not Assumption when I say we, I guess. They're not giving up the the 2-point conversions or the PATs.
Being a more impartial observer here.
Yeah, but I was, once again, Cox Communications does not air in Iowa City, so I'm covered this week. So I've been pretty impartial with all the Davenport schools so far, but this figured I don't have to be, or the MAC schools, I should say.
Quite possibly our last game of the year anyway, so say what you want to say.
There you go. So with a minute 24 remaining in the first half and down 12 points, Assumption obviously hoping to get something on. Maybe a field goal. We've seen the kid he's got a great leg, Chris Willis. Here's the kick, another squibber. It's going to be fielded about the 20. Here they come. Getting upfield, it's Stewart, I believe Andy Stewart.
Yep, it is.
Kickoff return by number 21, Andy Stewart.
And good field position, but not much time to work it.
So from their own 35, now they spot it back a yard or two. More around the 33, I guess.
Right.
First and 10.
Biggest first and 10 for the night. From their own 30.
Forbes goes wide right. The offensive line up on the ball already. Oxendine forgot to come in on offense. Now he comes in late. And that's going to hurt him. They got to take a timeout.
Well, I'll tell you what I think they've done. I think they moved Furlong in the center.
Oh, and Clemmy.
They had
Sure.
to move Oxendine out for Clemmy. So he's a multi-faceted lineman.
So they had, Oxendine last year, I believe, played the tackle or guard position.
I
don't
think
remember,
so.
Yeah, if he played. Well, you played against them. What are the scouting reports?
All over the place was the report. Can't handle.
Yeah, actually, that's probably
Furlong started for Assumption at various times this year. We've seen Assumption play about 4 times, and he started at least a couple of those games. And
I bet that's John Furlong's nephew, probably his brother's kid, former coach, current coach at Augie, former Ambrose coach. I'll take a guess on that one. Not sure.
You're probably right. Well, see what Coach Kaz has told the troops out there.
A minute 04. First and 10 still, once again from the 33. After they spent the timeout, they come back out with Forbes wide right to the far side. Slot is right, it's Pullman, he comes in motion. They go back with a fullback dive, gets a couple.
Number 34, Nick Geary, the ball.
Sooner or later you're going to have to see McGraw pull it and come option with Pullman one of these times.
Stopped on the play by number 66, Ryan Palmer. And number 20, Todd Barnes.
Comes the boot.
And rolling, McGraw lofts it up and hits some spectator on the Iowa City High sidelines.
Number 1, Matt Ford.
Yeah, I'm sure it was designated a throw to the out pattern to shut the clock off, but O'Neal was on a post and he was wide open.
O'Neal on that tight end spot. 40 seconds remain. 3rd and 6 from their own 37, trailing 12-0. Iowa City High, the 2-time defending state champs, looking for the three-peat, which is coming to the vernacular in the last few years.
Via the Bulls. Oops.
Oh, the motion on that left side, and O'Neal and O'Neal and DeAndre Harris, I think, both moved a little bit.
Yeah, and we can't let all the blame go to those guys because Wirtz moved too.
Right. Okay. We're going to the whole line.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
So they mark it back.
Yeah, they got to get out of here. They got to get into the locker room. They got to get settled down and get that last touchdown mentally out of their mind a little bit.
Well, all he's going to have to do to remind these guys is they bring in motion. It's Bush. They counter the other way. And it's Pullman. He tries to turn outside. He does a good job of finding that outside when it's clogged up in the middle, but he's ran down and nearly out of bounds, nowhere near a first down.
Boy, tremendous speed by number 20 from Iowa City, Todd Barnes. He really caught Pullman from behind, directly from behind.
So with 33.3 remaining in the first half, now 4th and 11 from their own 32. Holland will come back in the punt. Hill will go back to return for Iowa City High. I was going to say at halftime, all Coach Kaz really has to do is say, remember last week, guys, we were down 10-0 with a lot less time.
That's right.
Well, we've got a whole half, let alone 4 minutes.
Well, they got way too much time there.
That was kind of strange.
And
McGraw got punted into his back by Holland. Now, I know one's the backup quarter, one's the starter, but that's no way to treat your team, right? Hey, obviously, the early whistle, just having a little fun here. 32 seconds, 12-0. Like we said last week, they trailed Bettendorf 10-0. Brought Holland off the bench and won it 13-10. It was funny because when they had the missed PAT or the block PAT, you thought that would be a big deal.
Yep, that we did.
Because they couldn't go for the field goal. But that's okay, they got the 6th anyway.
Right.
Holland back to punt again, inside his own 20 at the 18. High snap, he feels it, they're coming. Gets it off. McGraw kind of made a block out in somebody's way anyway. Bounces at the 40 and out of bounds at the 36. Iowa City High takes over with the 12-0 lead and 25 seconds remaining.
Punt rolls out of bounds at the Iowa City 36.
He's going to throw.
Make it first down and 10.
As we mentioned, the winner of this ball game gets the winner of the Iowa City West Dubuque Waller game. West was leading 16-0. And on the other side of the state, well, Cy, whoever wins on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
When's the last time a state champion came from there?
I think Dowling is playing Newton tonight. And Ames must be playing Sioux City East.
So it's kind of funny, though, the same names each and every year.
Yeah, it really is.
And Dowling.
It really is.
No matter what state you look at, they pitch right. Richards is having a day. Picks up his feet, makes people miss, and gets across midfield. That was a nice tackle by Forbes. Yep. I don't know if they were expecting Richards to just get down, but he's cutting back, picking up his feet.
Yeah,
this kid's a load.
And I think they got visions of putting some more points on the board.
After that play, they might have just pitched it out and said get a couple, but after he picks up a big one, yeah, you could look for Price to go to the air.
And he can rip it. I like to see him do that, just to watch him throw. He has really got a strong arm.
Hill was open in the end zone earlier and was, I won't say he dropped it, it was ruled. A no catch out of bounds.
Yeah.
Maybe bobbled it perhaps. Another timeout with 18.3 seconds left here in the first half. The second quarter score is 12-0 Iowa City High. It's a 1st and 10. Both clubs, of course, came in 9-1, winning their first round playoff games. We mentioned Assumption beat Bettendorf 13-10, and Iowa City High beat Ottumwa. Kind of interesting too. I was talking to a few of the Assumption parents and fans, and they thought it was nice that Bettendorf was the first to congratulate, as in years past Assumption was the Bulldogs, and just rooting for the MAC anymore.
Yep, that's what we like to do. You got to root for the conference.
Price drops back, tries to throw down the sidelines.
And it's complete.
A nice catch, but unfortunately he's only about 5 yards out of bounds. Richard shows he can go after it.
Yeah.
In fact, a couple more steps and he could have been running on the track.
Well, they threw the fade pattern. You throw the fade on the sideline, so if it gets picked off, it's out of bounds.
There you go. Good call. Plus, that's actually a little bit of a timing route. A high school kid's going to have a little more trouble with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Second and 10. Hey, they can throw it up a couple more times.
Throws here maybe if they want.
12-7. It was a straight drop, and I'll tell you what, he had a lot of time. Assumption perhaps in a little bit of a nickel back prevent. Forbes is playing center field. Once again, straight drop. There's a little heat from Oxendine. They go down the left sidelines. Forbes playing center field. Oh, he almost picked it. I'll tell you what.
It almost looked like he threw that down on purpose, doesn't it? Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he would have caught it about the 4.
Yep.
You may be right. Because I'm thinking to myself, if Forbes can get it, hey, that's like a punt return with him.
That's
right. We've seen him return a couple interceptions this year, but probably a wise move.
I like to see Forbes and Hill in a foot race. That'd be a good race. And they probably have raced each other in the state track.
You're probably right.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Hill looks like he's about a foot taller, though.
Well, he's listed. Well, I'm sorry, they don't have the heights in here. I checked that. Never mind. 5 seconds to go. They'll just pitch. Go that right side, and Richards picks up a few more. There's going to be 1.1 second. Get another play on 3rd down. O'Neal in on the hit, drives Richards out of bounds. Richards, we'll get some stats at halftime. Richards has racked up a few, I'll tell you that. And it'd be interesting to see time of possession also favoring the Little Hawks, I think.
Yeah, the number of plays run, it's got to be 2-1 at least.
4th and 1, final play of the half from the 33. Straight drop, split backs, looking for Hill, the same pass he threw before. Oh, dangerous. He actually was behind the defensive back, but couldn't come up with it.
And the receivers had a little chat with the ref. He thought he was interfered with over there, but it was just a good defensive play.
And with that defensive play, the half ends. Assumption trailing Iowa City High 12-0. We'll be back on Cox Communications Channel 38 with the second half. Set to kick off the second half at Brady Street Stadium. Iowa 4A state football action. Davenport Assumption trailing the visiting Iowa City Little Hawks, the two-time defending state champs, 12-0. You look at the halftime stats, neither team, as we knew, came in passing the ball. Only one completion for 7 yards for the Assumption Knights, and that was McGraw to Forbes. Only 35 yards rushing as well. On the other side of the coin, only 19 yards passing for Price and company, but Price, of course, has made some nice runs. They have 146 yards on the ground, and Mike Richards has 92 yards on 8 carries, and that's pretty much been the difference, is just Richards running the ball, and Price also chipping in, just running the ball. And the only thing Assumption really won in the first half was the kicking game, so to speak, the special teams, I should say. In the punting game, they had a missed field goal, a blocked PAT. So I guess that's the victory there, is if they do score, they're right back in it with a couple of two-point conversions.
Well, Iowa City defense just appears to they're not big, and they just fly around. I'm really impressed with the way they play defense. They're all over the place, and that's given the Assumption's big people a few problems up front. The touchdown by Iowa City right there before half, that was really that really took the mental thing away from Assumption, I think, for right now, and they need something to happen to get that mentality back up high again where they can play.
Well, I will tell our viewers that we viewed, as you may be doing as well, we viewed the non-touchdown call against Hill at halftime, and I talked to some people who were down there too, and everybody pretty much in agreement. He caught it, he had 2 feet in, but the ref said he was out of bounds. He didn't even, the ref didn't argue bobble like I originally thought. He just called him out of bounds. And Hill, well, they ended up scoring anyway, the second touchdown.
Right.
The ref kind of holds Hill, I think.
Yeah, that was a pretty play. It really was, but.
Well, you originally said when you thought he had it, but they took it away. But nonetheless, they ended up scoring again, and it ends up a 12-0 Iowa City High lead. The Little Hawks, of course, the two-time defending state champs, as aforementioned, came in beating Ottumwa in the first round. Assumption with a thrilling come-from-behind 13-10 win after trailing 10-0 with about 4 minutes remaining. So down 12 at half. Just remember last week, Assumption, and you can keep your, I guess, your juice going with that one.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if we're going to see the young man Holland come back in and see if we can get some heroics out of him to hold up the conference here a little bit. And
well, to quote Coach Kazmarek, he said McGraw just runs the offense better and is a little bit of a better thrower.
Yep.
But he said Holland's bigger, stronger, faster, a better athlete.
And Holland, I'm sure, is just a junior. He's probably still learning some things, and probably doesn't quite have the leadership that McGraw has as being the senior and all.
So remember, Assumption received, and it looks like Iowa City High is going to kick off to Assumption again. There's not a lot of wind. So I'm debating.
Yeah, they're bringing the ball down.
Okay, they had it on the other side. They had it lined up as if the rest did, and I thought, don't tell me they're going to kick off again. I was trying to figure out who deferred or who changed.
I was.
Especially with no wind in play, I'm thinking, that's the only time you usually see a team do that, is so they can have a win a certain quarter.
The flag is dead still out there, so there's absolutely no breeze here. This is really a pretty nice night, I think.
It turned out, well, it was a nice day, in fact, and you're right, it turned out to be a nice night. Little drizzle early on, but that subsided. 12-0 is the score. We start second half action on Cox Communications Channel 38. Jess Medina running the camera, of course, Cy Robinson and myself, Dan Burch, giving you the call. Assumption down by a couple of scores, trying to get back in its second round playoff action in Iowa 4A. Number 6 Assumption hosting number 3 Iowa City High. The kick bounces about to 25, and a beautiful bounce going to head near back the end zone. He picks up as his one. and he's going to be wrestled down inside the 10. I would have probably let it see if it could have gotten the end zone.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going to make it in. I really thought he made a wise decision there picking the ball up. Otherwise, that's a free ball for anybody.
Did it hit the guy before it bounced?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but it looked like it was going to die at about the 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Matter of
you give it
opinion,
one more,
huh?
yeah, you give it one more bounce.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's first and 10 from their own 10.
Yeah, good break for Assumption there, and good job coming down with the kickoff
As
team.
we said, they won the kicking game, the specialty teams.
Yes.
Out of the eye, wide receiver left. And there was movement, perhaps. Assumption's pointing at Iowa City.
Yeah, O'Neill likes to call. And that's the way they started out the first half.
Great way to start off the second half there, though. Pushing back towards their end zone. Oh, for a safety side.
Uh-huh.
Ball walked back to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, or better yet, even a fumble right here somewhere, huh?
Richards rotates in, started off at tailback. McMahon will play fullback as well. They rotate backs. They give. It's not Richards this time, as the running back does a good job of muscling his way up during the original line of scrimmage. I believe it was Ringana.
Now DeAndre come out of the pile with a football there, but they blew it dead. So
well, early in the year, he kind of did get hosed, I guess is a way to put it.
Yeah.
He had a touchdown, and they took one away
That's
from him.
right. I recall it. Well, they got the penalty back.
Yeah, they pick up 5, so second and 10 from the 10. 12-0, the Little Hawks leading the Knights. Back to the eye. Looks like Richards is back in. McMahon's his fullback. Price will pitch it to Richards. He works that right side. Blast forward. Near a first down.
This young man is impressive. He's taking some people with him. Finally got brought down over there by looked like number 36 for Assumption, Mike Corsilia. Corsilia come up limping a little bit there.
Well, Stewart led the Knights defense in the first half with 5 tackles. We had him for. O'Neill right there with 4 as well. Oxendine did not have a tackle registered in the stats I looked at in the first half, which is a real surprise as you see Ox come off to the sidelines, a little equipment injury apparently.
Well, Iowa City tight end and tackle have done a pretty respectable job lead posting down on Oxendine tonight, and the linebackers are not coming up to fill in that position, so I think that's what's given Iowa City the opportunity off tackle.
Well, it's actually a good theory. We've seen people like Norris Scott had trouble trying to kick out the big guys. So when Iowa City's high is doubling down on the houses and getting outside them a little bit.
What do we got?
Oxendine a little problem with the shoulder pad here, so they
take a timeout.
They took a timeout to get him fixed up.
And we'll take a timeout with 10:06 in the third quarter. 12-0 Iowa City High. 3rd and 2, Iowa City High with the ball on their own 13. Excuse me, their own 18. Lost his footing, but Price will still get the first down and more.
That's a little inside trap keeper again. That fake we saw earlier, and they run that play well.
It's funny, you don't see a lot of teams trap that quick trap and use the quarterback as their running back.
It's that little jab step back the opposite direction, and that gives the guard room to come across, and their guards are tough.
I mean, it looks pretty simple, but you know, as a coach, that's a tough play
it's
for
a good
quarterback.
timing, right? You're right.
Wide receivers to the left side. They're out of the eye once again. 1st and 10 from their own 28. They give the Richards off the right side.
Good D.
That's one of the better stops on first down the Knights have had.
Good D. It looked like Matt Gravert, I believe, number 42, came up and made the play from his outside linebacker position.
2nd and 10. I'll call it no gain. Still on the 28. Clock clicking down. That becomes an adversary for the Knights. Down 12 zip. It's at 9:07. Out of the eye, the snap. They pitch that right side. It's Richards. He gets about 4 or 5. Bring up 3rd.
Good play. Just pull a guard out there and take a blocking back in front of that and just go after it. That's what they're doing. Richards is running hard.
Third down and 5.
You notice too, he delivers the blow because you see
He does.
you see the Assumption guys flying back.
Right. Yeah, you better have your base position in a good football position, and he's going to knock your head off.
3rd and 5 on the 33 from the far hash. Price will hand off. They've got it. Running hard again, breaks that initial tackle rather, and he makes the contact, keeps on going.
Again, brought down by Matt Gravert, and you know when the big linemen aren't making the tackles, they've got to be gaining some yardage in there.
First down and 10.
By the way Richards is going, he could have himself a 175-yard night here.
Well, he had 92 at the half, so he's well over 100 now. They move the chains, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Once again, they go quarterback draw. This time they go the other side. Fake the pitch left, go right, and he picks up about 9 more.
They have not shut that little quarterback trap off yet. I don't think they've made less than one time they made less than 10 yards on it, but they got about 11 there, I think.
A little bit shy of the first down. Call it 9 3/4.
Looked like they rolled over the chalk line.
Maybe they spotted at the knee, perhaps. 2nd and 1. Or a little less than 1, actually. 12-0 Iowa City High lead. They have the ball, and they are rolling. Good drive here. Remember, they were pinned back in their own 5. At midfield as we speak. Out of the eye again. They'll go right side again. Richards again. And spinning. That could have been ringing now because the way he was running. That was Holland.
Yep.
Because I know those are the spinners. We don't see much spinning with Richards.
No, we don't. No. O'Neal and Oxendine on the tackle there.
So Ox gets in on a play.
You probably don't remember the old single wing, do you, Dan? The spinner back?
No.
Well, sometime when you got a little time, I'll talk to you about
As long as you buy
that.
the golden sodas, I'll listen. 1st and 10 across midfield.
Actually, I'm not even that old.
They blast the fullback. We haven't seen that much. You gonna tell me when Rockney was catching passes on Cedar Point, Ohio, too, or something?
No, I don't think so.
6.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
It looked like they're setting up the option on a play like that. See if they come back with it.
A nice drive here by Iowa City.
Really is, and taking a lot of time off the clock.
As we said, they were pinned back in their own 5.
Yep.
They lost 5 on 1st and 10 from the 10. 6:16, clock still going down. They're in that I formation, been working the right side. There they go again. It's Richards again, and he picks up a couple more.
Yeah, that's just there again. You saw number 68, the left guard Luke Meredith for Iowa City, come across, and he just turns it up off tackle, and the blocking back comes in the same hole, and they get their 2 or 3 tough yards out of it.
They rotate backs in. It's been Holland, on the last couple of carries. We saw Ringena early. Richards has started off as full, went to tail. McMahon has played full. So they'll rotate people in and out, wear you down. 3rd and 5 from the 42. They work that right side again.
Same play.
Blasting forward, spinning is Holland, but he's not going to get it. Close to a late hit. Assumption better watch it there. You don't want to fly there.
Good job by DeAndre Harris there, Dan. First time we've seen him tonight come up with a good play, and he did it right there. Snagged Richards, and Richards was not going to go anywhere.
All right, we saw them go for 4th and 13 side of the first half.
And make it.
So a 4th and 3, it looks like they're going to go for it again. The ball's across midfield. In fact, it's spotted right on the 40-yard line.
Assumption really needs to hold here, Dan, or they're going to eat this whole quarter up.
They have ran right. They've also done the quarterback trap, the little draw trap. We'll see what they do. They just go that right side.
Nope.
You say no. I don't know, Si.
I don't think so.
Spot is.
I don't think so. Oh, they got a great spot out of it. I know that.
Iowa City High or Assumption? Which they?
They being the white shirts.
Iowa City.
Yeah, I didn't think he made it. Even with the good spot, he didn't look like he made it.
So a big 4th down defensive stand by the Knights, trailing 12-0. They shut down the Little Hawks finally, stuffing that right side ISO play. Kind of interesting why Richards wasn't the man getting the call.
Yeah.
Splits going left.
So from the far side, the left hash, Holland is in at quarterback.
Sit right. Wings in.
He is the man who rallied him. The junior, he's going to pull. Remember, he's a runner.
It's
Look
there.
the pitch. He's going to tuck it up. Oh. And he got about 5 yards, and already the crowd erupts because they remember what happened last Wednesday side.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, if some way Holland could have pitched the ball to Pullman there, they were gone.
And Pullman has good speed.
Yep.
So we saw the fullback dive early on. They give him a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3 nearing the midfield. Holland again from the near side. Look for an option the other way. Now this time they go back to the fullback dive, and once again, nothing there.
Stuffed.
Ball carrier number 5, Joe Bitterman.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that play was designed to go a little bit wider because Wirtz was coming across, and they also had the fullback out in front of it.
Bitterman would be your fullback. He'll come out. Gary comes back in. No gain, 3rd and 3. Ball on the 44-yard line. 3rd quarter action. Assumption down 12-0. Holland coming in off the bench. Fakes to Pullman, rolls right. He's got a couple blockers out in front of him. Great pursuit. He got close to the first down once again. It'll depend where the spot is.
I believe he'll get it.
I'll tell you what, he had 2 blockers out in front, but give that Iowa City High linebacker credit for coming flat.
Yeah, Wirtz pulled out in front of it and made a good block, and Holland showing some good fortitude there, just turning it up and knowing where to get the first down.
You know, once again, in case you missed it, last Wednesday against Bettendorf, Holland came in with just 4 minutes to remaining, down 10-0, and rallied him for 2 touchdowns. He's going to option the left side, pitch to Pullman.
Yeah, Iowa City, good coverage that time on the option.
They really stretched it out. They had about 3 people there.
Here he lost the one. Here, left hand.
Yeah, Ben Frega was out right nose to nose with Pullman on that play.
So they were matched up nicely, shut it down. But once again, the threat is there.
Left hand.
They know Holland will run. I'm sure they saw the Bettendorf game. In fact, the first time he came in, he carried the ball 3 carries, 42 yards total on 3 carries and got in the end zone. He threw the game-winning touchdown to Gary. Pullman comes in motion. They fake the Pullman. He rolls right again. He's under pressure. Throws it out. There's a flag.
Ooh.
Right around where Forbes is.
That's going to be a pass interference.
On Richards, their big tailback.
Yeah.
Forbes hits him in the butt to say, good job. You helped me out. That's like a 5-yard grab.
Yeah, I don't know what else that could be. Yeah. So that's going to be an automatic first down.
So for all purpose sakes, that's a completed pass if your assumption. They'll mark it off. A big penalty. Move the chain sign. That's a big call.
Yep.
They spot it.
35-yard line.
They spot it just shy of the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 from the far side. Halfback right. They bring Pullman in motion. It looked like the right side got off a little early. No call. They gave to the second man through.
Yep. Bitterman and carry, just an off tackle, kind of an isolation play with a lead blocker in front of it. Good gainer. Well, anxious to see here in the long run what Iowa City doesn't punt the ball down there, and we'll see if that costs them here a little bit. 2nd
and 4 from the 31. Both coaches going for it on 4th down, and as always, both being questioned. We wind down here in the 3rd quarter. They give that fullback.
Big hole.
See what happened? It's Gary. He's through. That's
Big
what's
hole.
interesting, and you know why the fullback dive all of a sudden is working, because you had Holland work the outside with some success.
That's right. And boy, they cleaned out a hole there.
So a nice pickup after the penalty. He gets it down near the 10. They spot it on the near side at the 11. 1st and 10. Bitterman back in as the fullback. Gary sits down after a nice pickup. For Siglia and for Pullman at the wingback. He'll come in motion. They're going to pitch that side. Holland keeping it on the left side, picks up his feet. He's blasted.
Yeah, big hit there, but he's still going to pick up a couple yards on it.
Pullman comes back in. He had an adjustment. I saw him leave with his helmet strap.
Yeah.
Whenever that used to, there's two of them. I used to tuck it in my helmet so the refs didn't see it. He's not a veteran. He's going to learn that move. He's only a junior. Never leave the game.
Oh.
You don't let that other back a chance, right, Si?
That's right.
2nd and 8. Ball on the 9-yard line, just inside the 10. Here comes the motion, Pullman. They spin, give to the fullback. It's Bitterman delivering the blow. Excuse me, it's Gary again.
Yeah, that's
Check
Gary. Yeah, that was Gary. I think we called. I think Gary carried the ball a while ago too, and we called it someone anyway. Gary looking good here on these last couple of carries.
No, on the long run down to the 10, I thought it was Gary.
Okay, yeah. And they're cutting a couple holes in there for him now.
Push and Bitterman in the backfield. Pullman comes in motion. They gave it to Bitterman.
Oh, it's close.
He kind of waited there, looked for an opening. The third quarter cranking down here. They stopped the clock with 3.5 seconds.
They were going to mark this ball on about the 6-inch line.
See, this is it. Remember, though, that would be a first down and goal.
Yeah,
because
it will
was
be.
First
You're
and 10
right.
from the 11.
That's exactly right. This is going to be first and goal.
So I'll tell you what, if they give them the first down, and you got it first and there, and you can't punch it.
Well, it sure looked like it wasn't even going to be any question about it. We'll see what happens.
Maybe the big guys up front are finally wearing down on Iowa City.
I was right again.
Yes, you were. So as the quarter cranks down, they'll start up the clock with 3.5 to go. It's first and goal. We'll mark it back the other way. Assumption trying to get back in it. They trail 12-0, but taking over first and goal inside their one when we come back on Cox Communication Channel 38. Channel 30. Assumption trailing the whole game. They're down 12-0, but they have it. There you see it, right on the goal line. First and goal. Gary's your fullback. They'll give it to him, and he's in, I think, Si.
Boy, it looked like it from here, didn't it?
No, Iowa City High celebrating. I can't be.
I'll tell you, there's a good linebacker play from Iowa City because DeAndre and I thought the left side, DeAndre and Wirtz really cleared it out in there. So one of the linebackers for Iowa City come up and made a great play.
Gary goes out, Bitterman goes in. They've been going to that fullback.
Oxendine and DeAndre on the same side.
They'll turn, give the other way to Bitterman. He's blasted. Man. Talk about winning the war on the line of scrimmage for Iowa City High.
Now that time Assumption went away from their two big linemen. Oxendine is a left guard and DeAndre Harris is a left tackle, and that time they ran to the opposite side. So.
Now all of a sudden it's third and goal from the 3. I'll tell you what, if they don't punch it in after first and goal from the 1, there's going to be some people shaking their heads on the Assumption sideline.
Yeah.
Ron Holland, he's got the speed. They go with Pullman, bringing him from the way back, and he's in.
Yep.
So they went to Grant Pullman, the junior. He and Forbes have scored the most touchdowns for Assumption this year. And Grant finds the end zone, and all of a sudden we're in a ball game side 12-6.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Pullman came in motion, and they dove the two backs to the left side and gave it to Pullman coming to the left side, and he was in fairly easily. Pullman, is the 7th leading scorer in the MAC conference this year.
8th touchdown of the year. Or excuse me, that would be about his 9th touchdown of the year. Trying to figure out, as I look at the obscure point total, I figure 2-point conversions come into play too.
Somewhere along the line, I suppose.
Willis, the kicker, it's up, it's good. And once again, Assumption continues to win the kicking game.
Yep.
We'll keep it here. There's 10:47 in the ball game. It is 12-7, and we joked kind of earlier that the blocked PAT by O'Neal will be a factor, but apparently it could be.
Yep, and I tell you what, I'm going to come back to it again. I'm telling you that 4th down situation is, I think, once in a while, and most of the time you need to punt the ball. put people down in a hole, and Iowa City didn't do that. And I'm not criticizing them because obviously they know what they're doing. But
I look at it this way: it's a wash because Kaczmarek went for it.
They did
Knights
the same
missed
thing.
it. So I figure each team went for it, failed, and the other team scored on it.
I guess people have different theories on that, and coaches have different theories too. I always thought the 4-down territory was inside the 35 or inside, and I think that ball was on about the 42. But
yeah, a lot of people start thinking around midfield.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're in Iowa City as a college coach, I guess apparently inside the 20.
Yeah.
Your own 20.
Yeah.
12-7. Willis will kick off. Gets it up towards the middle. Fielded on a line drive by who else? Richards.
Richard, yep.
Oh, there's a fumble. The ball is down. The refs are going to whistle it dead. You heard the crowd explode. It's sloppy in the middle, remember. And that's kind of how they got. And I was going to say that's kind of how they got back in it last week. Check that. That's exactly how they got back in it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the players had to know that was a fumble because everybody in the Assumption stands knew it. And there's a lot of them over here, Dan. Good crowd here tonight.
First and 10. Iowa City High put together some nice drives. They've definitely controlled the clock and the yardage column. They're out of the eye. We've seen that almost all game. They play action.
There he is. There he is.
Open. Nice.
Beautiful.
A beautiful interception.
Beautiful play by Corsilia. All right.
What a great pick. He was beat.
Yep.
But the quarterback underthrew him. Mitch Price.
Price waited too long to throw the ball.
And great recovery and a great effort. He sold out, diving backwards. 2 hands up, caught it as he hit the ground. Like we said, all of a sudden, flashback to last Wednesday. This Holland's kind of a cardiac kid.
He is.
He's got some juice going. He's got option to right side, pushes his pitch back, loses a yard or two.
Yeah. Good job stretching the offense out by the defense, Iowa City defense, and consequently the 4-yard loss.
The time is 9:44 and counting in the ball game. The fourth quarter score: Iowa City High 12, Davenport Assumption 7. Ball on the far side. Forbes comes towards the Assumption sidelines left. Pullman in motion. They counter fake. Rolling this way. Holland fishes in the flat over Forbes' head, off his hands and out of bounds.
Well, this nose guard from Iowa City, number 66, I think it is, Ryan Baumert. Anyway, a down lineman was really putting the pressure on Holland there.
3rd and 14. The ball is on their own 37. Holland rolled right, option right, lost a couple as he kept it. And then the incomplete pass with Forbes in the flat. So 3rd and 14, 9:22 on the clock. Pullman is the wing back on the left side. They come motion the other way. They give it to the fullback, and he gets a yard. The crowd voices their opinion.
Yep. Well, they didn't want to get too cute with the ball there. 3rd and 150 to go. Punt it away and play some D. That's what you got to do. There's plenty of time left in this football game for anything to happen.
Holland will punt. So double duty now. Oh, nice field. It looked like it was going to get a little high on the snap. Gets it off. Hill will field it on the run. A man's there, and it's Gary.
Good punt coverage. Good punt coverage by Nick Gary.
I'll tell you what, the coaching staff Assumption was happy to see Gary down there because you see a speedster like Hill feel it on the fly.
Yeah.
Something's can happen.
Look out. Yeah, really kind of that wasn't a very good punt by Holland. He's hit it better tonight than that, but so that's pretty good field position for Iowa City.
1st and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line. Here comes Iowa City. They go wide left out of the eye, double tight formation. Assumption in their base D. O'Neal fakes blitz. Great pressure there by, I was almost going to say Gravert, but it wasn't. They pick up a huge first down, though. Coming through was Joe Bedford. Took on the lead block, but nobody else was there to help out.
Right. Yeah, he turned it inside, and that's his job to turn it inside, but there was no other support there. Consequently, he got a 9-yard gain.
So 2nd and 1. Ball on the 45-yard line, nearing midfield. 7:53. Assumption definitely needs a stop, not immediately, but sometime on this drive. They give it a fullback, and he gets it, but not much more as he's shoved back.
Yep. I think that's all they want to do there. I think Iowa City is a real clock eat, ball conscious, ball control type team, as we've seen in not only this year but in the past couple of years that we've seen them up in the playoffs. They really concentrate on eating the clock up.
Well, the one year they won it after going head-to-head with Bettendorf, the Banks-Dwight battle. They also had a good quarterback. But last year they were definitely grounded out with Thine, the bigger back. There's that quarterback trap.
All right.
It was finally.
That's
finally
the first
stopped.
time in 5 tries they've shut it down. All right.
Finally, O'Neal learned to read it, I guess.
You could just see it coming all the way. The guard goes and the quarterback fakes that big pitch and turns it in.
Read it, as you know, Cy, linebackers read the guards.
Right.
You pretty much, that's your key. And that's exactly what Timmy did. 2nd and 10. They go back, handoff on the left side. About a 4-yard pickup for Iowa City.
That's obviously, I think we've seen that play many, many times. That's their obvious bread and butter play: is pull a guard through off tackle and the fullback kicking the end out and the it's tailback through the hole.
It's ringing a back, and that time on the carry, I'm still questioning why Richards is not at the tailback position.
Yeah, and obviously they got some pretty good confidence in this tailback too. Richards, they might be giving him a break.
Well, they rotate. As I said, they rotate him. They came in with that scouting report, but certain guys are having certain games.
Yep.
You go with them. The pitch. Nice penetration by Bedford again, and this time he got help.
Now, we talked about this a while ago, Dan. That time Bedford did his job, turned it in the support game and made the play. And that's what they got to do.
That time he got the help.
Yep. And
it was Gravert.
Now I'm wondering if it was Bedford that...
Bedford came with the heat and took on the initial block, and it was Gravert and Pullman on the tackle.
I saw Bedford go out of the game a while ago. I didn't know if he's back in or not. But
well, I called 48. It looked like 48.
And it is, too.
So back to punt. Inside his own 45. And back to return Forbes all the way back by his 5. Great punt.
Beautiful.
High and deep. It's going to bounce in the end zone. All of a sudden, Reggie Roby came into the game. 5:26. That was a great punt.
Yeah, it was. High hanger and...
So it comes back out to the 20. Actually, Assumption's probably happy he made the end zone. I thought it was going to pin Forbes back there. As high as it was, he was going to have guys, white jerseys, all in front of him by the time he caught it.
You know, you always hope that the ball is punted to Forbes because he is fun to watch return, but not to be.
Here comes Assumption immediately out. 1st and 10, 5:26 to go from the 20. Holland almost lost the handle. He's going to work this side. Look at running in the lineman, keeps it going, but the thing was he kept going forward.
That he did. It was a broken play. He was looking for somebody to hand that ball off to, I think.
I think he missed the fullback handoff, to tell you the truth, and just rolled out there. He just keeps going forward.
Good heady job by the Holland there, keeping control.
2nd and 5 from the 25. Holland is your quarterback. Forbes wide left. Corsiglia comes in motion. They give the fullback. Not much.
Yep, not there.
Stop by number 2, Harold Coleman.
Now we got another broken hat out there by an Iowa City player.
Broken hat.
Well, that's what they are.
Lid. We've heard a lot of terminologies for the helmet. Don't want to be redundant, do we? 4:39 remains in the ball game, and it's a 12-7 Iowa City High lead. The Little Hawks, two-time defending state champs, ranked third. Assumption coming in ranked sixth. Second round, Iowa 4A playoff action. Holland, your quarterback. The Knights with the ball. Here's the play. Third down. Pullman in motion. They go back to the fullback.
Yep, tried to run the inside trap again right over the center, and it's not there.
Fourth and a yard. Maybe about 2 yards. It'd be close.
Okay, Coach Breach, 4th and 1, 4 minutes left. What are you going to do? You going to punt it away or let your defense get the ball back?
No. Go for it.
All right, and they are. And they are.
Yeah. My theory is,
yep.
I can get a yard
I think they
anywhere.
have to in this situation. I agree with you.
They bring in motion. Great pursuit. Pullman gets stopped.
Yep.
That was great penetration by
really
Iowa
was.
City High.
They sniffed that out big time, and they had 5 people over there converging on Pullman. He wasn't even close.
So Iowa City takes over on the 25-yard line. 3:45 remaining, 1st and 10. 12-7 lead. Twice on those 4th downs, especially with Holland now in for McGraw, the runner. No nose guard over center and the big guys up front. I was expecting a quarterback sneak, especially with Holland.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, the fumble snap! And once again, the Rosary Beads came out for Assumption. O'Neill and company and Stewart, who's had a great game. Andy Stewart. Everybody involved in that. Grabber getting high fives from Bedford.
I don't know who recovered that, but well, let's see if we can get a little offense going here.
1st and 10. Momentum shifts quickly on the high school scene. They go to an I backfield, and is that Forbes in the I? Yeah, it is. Pitch it to your fastest guy.
Oops.
He's going to try to cut back. I'll tell you what, I was talking at halftime, and I said all season long, because Assumption does not throw the year past, they had the great wideout in Tony Collins, but they also had the good quarterback in Duffy Conroy.
Right.
And Woodley the year before that, who threw to him.
Right.
This year they haven't thrown, and I've saw it several times.
Yep.
Why haven't we seen Forbes? We did it one game, see him in a tailback.
Yeah, I don't know what game it was, but and that time there might have been a little bit more yardage for him to gain if he sprints to the chalk. Yeah, sprints to the sideline.
They're going to roll right. Holland looking for
yeah, there's
Forbes.
a clip.
Throw it up high. A nice hit by the defensive back, Iowa City High.
Yeah, and we got a clip in the backfield, and that's so they'll decline that. And it's going to be 3rd and probably a
12.
bunch. Yeah.
Broken up another 32 by Richard.
And now you want to just get it back as quickly as possible. We'll see if they decline.
Well, they'd almost be smart to take this
it,
penalty.
mark
Yeah,
you back
it'd be what
inside the 10.
2nd and 27.
We'll see what they do.
Because that's from the spot of the foul. It's even going to be further back than that. I don't think it is from the spot of the foul. The holding is. Clipping, I think, is from a line of scrimmage.
Well, I don't either.
Maybe this winter I'll read the rule book, Dan.
Now he says so, Jess. All the guy does is golf and fish. Obviously, he's got a lot of time on his hands. But one thing that Assumption does not have is time on their hands.
That's
right
true.
Now with 2:35
That's
to go, down 12-7, 2nd and 29 from the 8, their own 8-yard line. Bitterman comes in. Geary goes out. Obviously, if Holland's thrown, he's looking for Forbes. Holland more of a dangerous runner, of course.
Yeah.
Forbes back at the I back. They're going to pitch him right side. He's going to look to throw. Looking downfield. Too much penetration. He had to tuck it up and actually lost a couple more yards.
Yep. Well, the halfback pass was obviously developing there and was covered pretty well.
30.
I don't think I've seen Assumption throw a screen this year. I don't know if that's part of their brains or not.
Actually, you know what? I don't think I have either. Now
No,
you mention it. 3rd and 32. They lose a couple more from the 5. Little outside the 5, maybe the 6. Forbes goes wide left. Obviously, they were just trying to get it to their best athletes, so to speak, in Forbes' last couple plays. Motion this way. It's Bush. They're going to roll Holland. Looking downfield, under pursuit. Throws downfield and almost picked off.
Yep. Yeah, if he could have set and thrown, I think he had Bush open.
All right, Cy. 4th and 32. And
yeah, I don't think there's any question you
punt.
No,
You got a minute
I think you
42.
got to go. You only got a minute.
But he's lining up like a punt. But of course, Holland's a punter.
Punt for the night. Number 15, Tony
Yep.
Holland.
Yeah, we'll see what they
Holland
do.
and McGraw is the up back. Remember, he's the
Iowa
quarterback.
City certainly thinks.
Holland's going to punt.
Yeah.
They have all 3 timeouts left?
And it gets near the midfield. It's going to be down right at midfield,
See,
50-yard line.
Iowa City was looking for a fake or something down there too. They never even had a receiver back.
So with a minute 32 and a couple of timeouts, you have to stop Iowa City High, which Assumption hasn't done all that well tonight. Well, it's been exactly the type of scoring game. I just quoted last week's game was 12-10. I said I look for something, 13-10 rather. I look for something like 14-10, and it's 12-7 right now. So pretty close. 117, 1st and 10. They give it to Ringana. Picks up a yard. There's the whistles.
This will be a timeout.
Naturally. And I believe Assumption called it.
Yes, I believe they did. I don't know if they have one left. I think they have one left.
A minute 02, 102 remaining.
They had to call one a while earlier to fix Oxendine's hat, so they only got one left, I think.
2nd and 8. They give a 2-yard pickup for Ringana. So this is also where you tell the Assumption Knight defense to start going for a strip as well, and that's kind of a knack. How some guys just have a knack, like how Dennis Rahman has a knack to get the offensive board. And you're smiling because you're probably thinking of a D lineman. I know I played with a kid who always seemed like he could come up with it.
This is where you try to put your hat on the football, and
sometimes as the game's going,
the backs got both hands on the ball, both arms wrapped around it, and they know if there's anything crazy they can do here, that's fumble the football.
Well, if you're Assumption, you hope there's a Rashawn Salam in that Iowa City High backfield.
Yeah.
And you can get it back. 2nd and 8. Still out of the eye, no surprise there. They'll work the other side. Bedford will turn it in, and O'Neill and company will, I take that back, they didn't get him. They had him back there, but he escaped and got near the 1st down.
Well, he ran a long ways to pick up that 6 yards there. And Assumption will spend her last timeout, I think.
And in a 3rd down situation, I'll tell you what, Bedford actually came back around and pursued and almost got another tackle.
Left hash.
Andy Stewart got it. He's had a great game defensively. Actually, a lot of the Knights have had good games and good years, winning the MAC Conference title again. Finally getting over the Bettendorf hump, beating Bettendorf in the playoffs. They beat him in the regular season, but first time Coach Kaz could finally give Merv a notch.
Yeah, well, they're one notch further this year, and they're losing some awfully good people from this football team, but they got some, I think they've got some reputable juniors coming back. But their front offensive,
they lose a lot of that size we talked about.
Yeah, they do.
You lose Forbes, of course, a big play guy. Pullman comes back. Holland will come back as your quarterback.
Yep,
So
Gary's back. Bush is back.
So right there, you got your wing back,
yeah, they're losing
a tailback, and a quarterback.
You're right. They're losing their really big people. Wirtz, Clemmy, Oxendine, O'Neill, Gravert.
DeAndre's a senior as well.
Yep,
right?
DeAndre. Forbes is a senior, losing that speedster.
3rd and 3. But everybody said that when you lost Collins too, so maybe Collins' little brother.
Yeah, that's true. Actually. That's true.
They got the 1st down and more.
Look out! This could be a touch.
Heading for the end zone, and he's
out of bounds. Yeah.
Great hustle. I think it was Pullman. Came all the way over.
Yep. Well, all they really got to do now, they don't have to worry about scoring, just hang on to the football. That's all they want to do at this point.
41 seconds.
Yep.
Actually, you can see him take a knee.
Yeah, and you know the players would like put another one on the board, I'm sure.
But as a coach, he may just say, if there's no timeouts remaining for something, hey, take a couple knees.
Here's
the
where
crowd
you
filters out.
Get your splits butt to butt and don't let anything penetrate, and put it down on put the knee down twice, and you won the game, because Assumption is out of timeouts.
Well, unless we get another great turnover in favor of Assumption, it's going to finish the season for Coach Kaz and the Knights at 9-2. They finished ranked the 6th in the state. It looks like Iowa City High will go to 10-1, and it sounds like it's going to be a rematch with the only team that beat them, their rival, Iowa City West. West was leading 16-6, the last score we heard, over Dubuque Wahlert. And West won that first game 14-0.
I'd like to see him put that game at Kinnick.
Put it at Kinnick?
Yeah, why not? I was out of town. Let them play on the fake
Iowa's been out of town for 3 weeks in a row now, haven't they?
You what?
I said Iowa's been out of town for 3 weeks in a row, I think.
Yeah.
There it is. They just take the knee. 33 seconds. Assumption can't stop it.
Yeah, if the officials have any mercy here at all, they'll just let this.
So it'll end up 12-7. Iowa City High advancing with a possible rematch with Iowa City West. Assumption finishes the season 9-2. The final play if they want to get it off. Congratulations to Coach Kazmarek and the Knights for another great season. As we said, they got over the Bettendorf hump. Next year they'll look to shoot one more. Cox Communications Channel 38 would like to thank the Knights, Assumption, and the rest of the MAC Conference as the players congratulate each other.
Dan, before everything's over here, it's been a great time working with you this year. I appreciate your effort, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right, I was going to say the same thing to you, Si, and of course Jess, our trusty cameraman and sometimes third microphone man in the background, did a great job. You see some dejected seniors down there, Harris and Oxendine, but hey, they'll get over it. Those two will be playing football a lot longer.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
So for Cox Communications, Si Robinson, Jess, and myself, have a good evening, everybody.